Welcome to another week of the AKB48 group news of the week. This week we have not a lot of news compared to last week because that was 2 weeks. But this week there is quite a bit of news, so let's get right into it. So you can see on the top right corner the new number sign to see whether you're on 48, graduated, or 46. This week there's no graduated news. If you guys have any graduated news that you guys want to tell me, or any 48 or 46 news you think I might not see, go ahead and tweet me at Mr. Joshbox for that. So let's get started with 48. First up, we have AKB48's 51st single, which is Jabaja, and the first day sales of it. And of course, it got over 1 million, but people are saying it barely got over 1 million. It sold for 1,028,653. Now, this is, of course, million sales, AKB, not that rare. But this was just 28,000 near the 1 million mark, and this song isn't that strong. Hopefully AKS is like, oh man, you know, that song wasn't as good as we thought it was. Maybe we should start putting out good songs again. Maybe we'll get more people buying it, because maybe the regular people aren't buying it, but only the fans are. Which that strategy seems to work for Nogizaka46, which is really close to 1 million. And speaking close of million singles, we know that the Sousenkyo single, you know, when you want to get your votes in, that always sells a lot. But it seems like last year Sousenkyo will actually get its own Blu-ray coverage. This might be a little bit unique because the initial place they wanted to record at wasn't appropriate, if you guys remember the disaster that happened. And then they had to go to a new space. So I'm not sure exactly how it's going to play out, if they're going to keep Riripon's speech in there, if they're going to show different angles of different things that we didn't see in the live broadcast. It should be interesting to see from that point of view. And usually there's behind the scenes in the bonus features, so hopefully we get some behind the scenes to see how the members think, although that would be kind of cool to see. But I could see AKS saying like, nah, let's just like put that and like a couple like behind the scenes afterwards of them getting their awards. But hopefully we get to see some coverage of like what it could have been and what the members were saying all the way up until the end, and perspective from the members to see that sort of unique perspective. Because I imagine they were kind of disappointed too, and so were the fans. But speaking of fans and members, there was the center exam, which members and fans took together in the same place, which, I mean, paying 70 bucks to do a test next to your favorite idol, I mean, it doesn't have to be your favorite. It could be like someone you completely don't know, and like you're doing the test and you're like, I don't know who this is. She's sitting right over there, but I don't know who it is. So yes, there was the center exam, and the members got pretty high scores on it. I'll name the top 3 right now. Number 1 is Mukaichi Mion, and apparently she studied for like a long time, and she's plus like a AKB WOTA, and even on showroom she was studying with fans that were there, so her getting first place is not that rare. And for number 2 we got Saho, and we also got Kashiwagi Yuki, who tied together for second place. Now Kashiwagi Yuki being there for a long time, and Saho, I imagine she's a fan as well for her to have gotten this high up on the scoreboard. So you can go ahead and go to the site down below in order to see the full listing of the 16 members that actually got top ranked, with the lowest being Iriyama Anna, and knowing her smartness, of course she's in the top 16. I talked about Iriyama Anna and her Mexico thing last episode, so go ahead and check that out if you haven't watched it. Next up, let's move into some music videos. All of these are going to be NMB48 since they're going to release their new single soon. First up, we got Saji Nageruna. And this one's at an American style diner where they mess up a lot, they drop the food, they mess up orders, and it's generally that type of vibe. If that was in America, oh man, the manager would be hearing an earful, there'd be free food walking around, it'd be a total mess. Nothing too impactful from this song. This is one of the songs that I won't probably be looking for to play. It'll probably be one of those like, oh, I think I've heard that song before, but I don't remember it kind of songs. Although I did say that slide guitar solo is pretty nifty. Next up is NMB48 with Good Timing. And this one I have to say right off the bat, first thing that comes up is I see the bad green screening in this. I mean, I know they don't have as much budget as some other groups do, but that green screen looks pretty bad. And of course, that's not the only distracting thing. There's Jonishirei, who's also distracting because of her stockings. No, because of the blue side of her dress that is very different from everyone's yellow. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Song isn't too bad if you like cutesy songs. I was tapping my foot along to it, so I could see if you like cutesy songs, this could be a potential good one for you. Next up, we have NMB48 Hankyu Densha, which is actually like them in a room with light bulbs floating all over them and their eyes being very sharp. Whoever did this really had fun with the mask feature because their eyes are very sharp and then everything else is blurry, and then we got some sharpness over here and then some blurriness, and you could tell that was post-production, at least from my point of view. And I'm not a big fan of those light bulbs in the sky. Like, I prefer like fairy lights or something in the sky. The light bulbs are kind of too big for me, and plus they kind of give like this like waving lights, which I really don't like. And if you're at a wrong shutter speed, then you'll see waves going across the screen, which looks bad, and I haven't done that before. But I do have to say, for the catch lights in the members' eyes, if you see like the shots where they're right there, you can see all the light bulbs in their eyes, which actually looks really good. So maybe they were just doing it for all eye appeal. Next up, we have NMB48 Yojiukugo Girls. This one is more pastel colored, typical idol in a house kind of music video. It isn't nothing too memorable. One thing that sticks out is that the music video is very pastel colored. I don't think they used the pastel colors as much as they could have. Maybe a different location would have been better than a white house. Maybe like a pinkish house would have worked out better. But then fitting all those members in, you kind of need a big house. But something I did like is the actual sitar in the background kind of gave this world music feel, not only in the beginning but during some of the chorus parts, and I really enjoyed that. And some negatives about it is I don't like digital zooms when it goes that far. Like, if you look at the music video and it's going like panning across, it's staying in the front, and all of a sudden it goes in real fast and comes back out, goes in, comes back out. Yeah, that's a digital zoom that you do that in post-production, and not a real fan of that. Another thing is that they did like the one camera following them around, but then like halfway through the music video we see them cut to cinematics and cut to a lot of different things, which, I mean, combining the both kind of ruined the flow for me. Like, I was kind of getting into this flow of like, okay, it's one camera with digital zooms in, alright, kind of getting into it. All of a sudden we get cut to cinematic and cut to different cinematic and cut to different things, so it kind of made it a little bit choppier than it would have been if it started with that in the beginning. Just something that just like didn't flow right with me personally. Now let's move on to some more individual members. Let me just start off with the bad news and then I can get into good news. First of all, we have Tano Yuka, who announced her graduation on Showroom. Now, some people are saying this has only been a matter of time. There's been so much stuff coming up with her. You know, we have the scandal, we have her saying stuff about Japanese people who pretend to be Korean. We have a lot of different things that come up, and I don't know if this was the perfect timing for it. But one thing I am happy for is that she has better stuff to go to. She has a lot of stage plays, a lot of musicals. I mean, she's one of the best dancers in AKB, so she has that going for her. I mean, even look at that commercial she did, just her by herself with some other dancers in there. Really good. So I think she's okay future-wise. And another member that is graduating is STU48's Orie, and I know she isn't a big member. I usually talk about like pretty much only big members here when I talk about graduation, but the reason I want to talk about this is because in STU48, when I was learning a little bit more about them, she was someone who really stuck out in my eye. When I didn't see her in Variety, I was like, oh, why isn't this girl in Variety? I had a lot of potential for her, like I saw the potential, but apparently she decided to announce her graduation because she wants to go ahead and study more. So, I mean, if that's what she wants to do and that's what she wants to do, I can't fight it. But that is really a member that I wanted to see more on screen. Now next up we have two HKT48 members that actually are getting YouTube channels. And first of all, we have Tomonaga Miu, who is starting her YouTube channel. She has 2 videos up currently. The newest one is like 3 minutes long, and it looks like it's taken on a cell phone, recording on an app trial and edited on a trial program. Except it doesn't have the watermark because it's like 480p. I don't even know what it was taking on because I know cell phones can't do 480p. That's I'm guessing it was like she was recording on an app, and that recorded probably like 720p, and then she did like a trial version of some editing software on her phone, and then that lowered it to 480p. That's my guess. It might be a combination or one of those, because cell phones don't record 480p. Like most of them nowadays record 1080p and even 4K. So go ahead and check on that because the first video actually has pretty good lighting and okay camera. So go ahead and check that out. And the next person was getting is Miyawaki Sakura, who is actually doing a gaming channel. We have an NMB member who does gaming, but now we have an HKT member who does gaming. And it seems like this should be good. It seems like she has a green screen, so she could be like a real professional Let's Player and actually do that sort of stuff with the green screen, with her being right there, less distraction. And she's actually playing Splatoon, and she's playing Undertale. There's a lot of American fans of Undertale, so this should be a good boost for her, for all the, all the nerds, I'll say, that want to watch Japanese content, and plus it's Undertale. I feel like some of those audiences mixed together. There is a teaser of her playing the games. You can see that down below. That's the only video that's uploaded, so I don't know when the videos will start coming out, but I'm excited for that. Some people didn't know that she was a gamer. The only reason I know is because of handshake reports, so there's that. And the last person we're going to talk about is Kato Rena, who, as we know, is going to release a photo book. Well, actually, the cover has been shown. Here is the front cover. It is actually a little bit more cutesy than what I thought it was going to be. It is her with her messy, twin buns, and her doing the duck lips. Not my favorite pose, or not my favorite cover, but it'll do. And then we have the back cover, which is actually a little bit more of what I was leaning towards it was going to be. But it's taking it to a different dimension because it's not only lewd, but it's also more on the innocent side because of the teddy bear she's holding. So it kind of has both of those in play, which I'm not really sure how I feel about. I have a feeling the back cover is a little bit more like of the second half of the photo book, because that's usually how photo books are structured. And then like the cutie side will be in there in between maybe sections. So you can look forward to that critique when it comes out. Next up, let's go to 46 because there's no graduated news. Again, you can submit it on Twitter. And let me just go over this real quick because there's only like 3 topics I want to talk about. And first of all, let's go with Nogizaka46 and their 20th single lineup. We have some interesting changes in here. We have 4 third gens in here now. We have Ozono Momoko, who is in the middle row, and one over to her is actually Kubo Shiori. So we have Kubo Shiori, who's the first time in Senbatsu, and Momoko, who used to be the double center. But we have the other 2. In the front, we have Yorayuki on the very right, and then on the very left, we have a brand new third gen member, which is Yamashita Mizuki, my favorite third gen. So glad. I was disappointed when I didn't see her as double center, but now she's front row, strong position, so I'm excited to see more of her. And then we move on to the center, and I know what you might be thinking, it might be Rena, since it is her graduation. Well, no, it's not. It is actually Shiraishi Mai, who I'll bring up a little bit later about some new news about her. But it seems like she has gotten center, and Rena has gotten the true center position, which is second row, in the middle, horizontally, and then in the middle, vertically. So she is the true center, with Mayan being the front center. So this is a Shiraishi Mai center, so that means she will probably put like way too much effort into this. As we saw from Girls Rule. And then in this one, we should see some cool things. Hopefully the song is better than what we listened to, because it doesn't really sound too much like a Mayan type song. She usually has pretty strong songs, even when she's double center. Not counting like the other song or anything. But you might be thinking to yourself, why is Ikoma the true center position instead of front center, which gets all the media attention? Well, that is because she actually refused to be the front center. And the reason why she refused is because she wants it more for the group's future. She wants to see things from the back. She doesn't want to dwell on it, especially after Record of the Year that happened last year. She wants the group to advance more, and she thinks having this being a graduation single would actually weaken it compared to a regular single. And plus, like, the music doesn't really match with the whole graduation single theme. So I think this really shows in her character, seeing as she wants the better of the group, rather than her getting all of the attention. I feel like she's really going forward. This could be taken as her one foot is out of Nogizaka already, but the other foot is still kind of like pushing all the rest of the support out. And even as Mayan said, with the third gens being here, with the strong Senbatsu being here, and with Ikoma graduation, this should be a pretty good single for Nogizaka46. As long as the song isn't horrible. They're not AKB yet, where they can have horrible songs and still sell 1 million copies. So speaking of Mayan, we know that she graduated from Ray, but now she is graduating from LARM, which means she has no exclusivities in any magazine anymore, which can either mean 2 things, in my personal opinion, being positive. It is either A, she is going to go and get a bigger magazine deal that's a solo magazine, like maybe like Vogue Japan or something, and dedicate to that. That way she can go ahead and also dedicate to being the center of this single to make Nogizaka propel more. Second option is she's like, yeah, let me fully concentrate on being the center for the single, and then afterwards I'll concentrate on my magazine work by getting, again, a bigger deal and maybe sleep some more. And I imagine she's getting like offers up the wazoo because, I mean, being such a huge symbol for women's beauty in Japan, I mean, what magazine wouldn't want her for a top dollar bill? And I know some of you might say, oh, it's because she's getting ready to graduate. Well, I think I remember she said that she wants to know what she wants to do for the future before she actually graduates. So her leaving the magazine means that she might try something else, or she might try a better magazine deal, see how that works out. So I don't think it's curtain call just yet. Like 50 people are gonna leave before Mayan graduates, and all of you are gonna be like, Mayan's gonna graduate soon, she's old. I mean, look at Manatsu in Nogizaka46. She says she'll still be in Nogizaka until she's 46 years old. And that does it for this week's episode of AKB48 Group News of the Week. You can go ahead and subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on the news. You can leave time codes or just leave a list. I'll read it anyway. And you can go ahead and share this video with your friends. Hit the little bell if you want to know exactly when the videos go up. I released a photobook critique of Ito Marika's photobook, which you can check out. There might be a new video coming out, maybe me selecting some of the best members of a certain group. Look forward to that. And again, you can subscribe to know when that comes out. So you can support me on Patreon because it takes time to do all these videos. And as I say every single week, thank you all for watching.